Okay, everybody, I'm back. I actually was not playing through Sonic Mania again on the PS4. I just was doing that to test the audio setup that I have going for OBS. Because it was like, the meter for the Elgato box was not moving whatsoever, so I was very confused by that. Instead, we're going to be playing this game, which I have heard is not exactly great. And by heard is not exactly great, I mean, I watched pieces of, and not all of. You hear about video games? You like jazz? Wait, no, that's completely wrong. Although a little bit of levity would probably be nice for the stream, wouldn't it? So I watched a reasonable chunk of a quote-unquote cutscene movie for this game, and I use the quotes pretty severely there because this game is almost entirely lacking in regular cutscenes. We'll see how they're implemented as we go. And I couldn't really get a good grasp of the personality of much of these characters. They have, like, vague rumblings of personality. They are... Imagine characterization, but it's LaCroix. You know? That would be Star Ocean 2, because that was the one that was on PS1. There has been one each on each of the PlayStation systems. There was one on SNES, which was not localized because it came out in July of 1996, and Nintendo was like, nah, we got this N64 thing. I should specify Nintendo of America. They were like, oh, let's just focus on the new shiny thing, and they decided not to localize it, which, you know, to be fair, this series is a little hit and miss. Anyway, I've been sitting on this screen talking for several minutes now because perhaps I'm a little bit full of dread. Update system to use network features. Fuck you. Yeah, so we can close Sonic Mania. That's fine. Although I would much rather be playing Sonic Mania. I've played it already on this channel for you folks, and unless I kick over to the PC where I have the DLC and everything, that might be something that we check out at some point if I feel like it. You know, if this bums me out. Square Enix, who only published this game, this was created by Tri-Ace, who are... Well, they source themselves all the way back to the earliest Tales games. So my understanding is that these games are pretty similar to those. I've only played like 15 minutes of Tales of the Abyss. I bought it around the time that I bought my my DS Lite, which would have been like 2009 or something. I don't remember. And I started playing and I'm like, oh, that's really cool. Unfortunately, I had also bought Chrono Trigger for the DS, so I was like, that is going to be much more my speed. Yes, character design by a guy who did some of the character design for the Street Fighter series, I believe. Akimon did some of the designs for some of the more recent Street Fighter games. Motoi Sakuraba, who did a lot of other music for quite a bit of other more well-known games, but he's always been the composer for this particular series. He did the music for the Mario Golf games, among some other stuff, which is kind of wild. He also did some music for Dark Souls, I believe. Which is really strange, because every once in a while I have to remind myself Dark Souls is a Japanese series. Anyway, we are finally underway, folks, ish, and by that I mean we've reached the title screen. Welcome to Star Ocean Integrity and Faithlessness. Right, it's called the Options button on the PS4. I'm dumb, and not the Start button. This is the 5th main game in the series. There have been a couple of mobile game spin-offs, and there's also Star Ocean Blue Sphere for the Game Boy Color, which never came out in America, basically due to the same reason that Star Ocean 1 didn't come out in America until they released it on the PSP. Never changed, Nintendo, and by that I mean Good God, do they need to change on many, many ways. Anyway, let's start ourselves a new game. So, I don't know anything about how this game controls. And, I mean, this one's already saying something about enjoying the story. I know that's not going to happen, so I'm probably just going to go with your default difficulty here. And if we get our asses handed to us a little too much, then we'll go back to normal. I'm sure it'll be fine. Anyway, how have you folks been? You will notice that I did not stream on July the 4th. I was just tired. It kind of turned out that that's probably a good idea because, you know, fireworks. Nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear me bitching about them either. This time of year always stresses me out quite a bit for a variety of reasons. But we are back. I'll try to see if I can sneak in another stream on Thursday to make up for what we missed out on here. Would you like to undergo the battle tutorial? Yes, because I haven't played any of these games before and I don't have a manual for this. Can't walk during battles. Yeah, to be fair. Right stick. R3, reset character. Alright, so I have a feeling that I'm not going to internalize a lot of this for a bit. Switch between targets. Press them simultaneously. Nearest target. Alright, so... Our opponent is named Ted. Alright, it looks like circle is going to be our big attack, and X is going to be to just go a little faster. I have a feeling this is going to be very much mash X the game. Alright, square button to guard. Extra. Similar to rock, paper, scissors. Yes, thank you. Yes, I've played Fate Extra before. I've played part of Fate Extra before, anyway. Alright, so I have a feeling that this is... Oh shit, my cables came out. Okay, that's a bit of a problem. That's real cool there, Black Box. Can I pause, please? I would like to pause. I would not like to share. Y'all are getting a little too much just from the fact that I'm streaming this. Okay. Gotcha, so we gotta set that shit up outside of battle. And again! Good fucking looks there. Oh, no, that was just a fade out. Never mind.
Huh. I'd say that should about do it for training. How about we take a lap around the village?
Well, I have no idea where...
5 whole years have passed since you took over for your father. So much has changed in that time.
You think so?
What's more, the capital's supposedly a real scary place now. Word is, the people slain by monsters and bandits are innumerable.
So I've heard.
It's also different. I just...
Okay, so I'm noticing a bit of a problem here to start with, in that
a blind eye to these atrocities so far,
It's a
long
little
until
bit difficult to
Solace
tell who is talking unless you can actually see their faces. And the game doesn't really seem to want to do that for you very much. I mean, okay, we get some NPC talk in, non-cutscene mode. But also, wow, the camera controls are very heavy, especially in that, and they seem to like to rubber band a fair bit.
Pardon me.
Also, we can just bump into people. That's always fun. Okay, triangle is our menu. Excuse me. Alright, so I guess our dude here is named Fidel. Fidel Camus is his name. I'm kind of curious almost if it's like the localization did not remember, didn't know the name Camus or something, and they failed that, but I would not know for sure. Alright, can we set anything a little more interesting here? No, all we have is our double slash ability at this point. I'm not surprised. Ah, gotcha. I don't know that series all that well, except that there's quite a few games in it. Do we have to actually talk to anybody, or are we just looking around the general area? Because it seems like it could go either way. Also, yeah, these camera angles are not exactly nice to us. At least I feel like. And is there some way I can zoom out? Because this feels like it's up way too close.
Sorry.
That's another area that's blocked off to us for the moment. Let's go and see if you got something of use for us here. By that I mean, if we're going to come back to this later. I like that they have, like, little images of what the equipment looks like. That's pretty neat. Also, yeah, not really hiding the fact that any of these are, well, the equipment anyway. It shows us, obviously, who can equip them, but the fact that we know that those are certain characters' default outfits just from having seen the artwork. Not exactly even necessary for this earliest stuff, but, I like the idea of having these different looking pieces of gear visually. It's something that is not super widely done in RPGs, but I always... Well, I mean, saying that, of course, a lot of them do have the different models for different weapons thing, but you don't usually get that level of detail, it feels like.
Pardon me.
I just sort of realized, oh yeah, once you hit the 3D era, they sort of do. Most of the RPGs I play are very 2D.
Hey, doesn't that look like Miki to you?
Miki?
Is Miki really 18 already? She looks way more mature than I did at her age.
And her face really doesn't look right.
Her a little sister. I can only think of her as a kid. Let's see what she's up to.
I'm just gonna put this forward now that while this game graphically is okay, I mean, there's a reasonable amount of detail. I wouldn't say that it necessarily looks like it belongs much earlier than PS4. It's certainly not, oh, it's PS2 grade, but God, they really fucked certain things up very badly depending on the level. Even independent of the level of detail involved, because, like, wow, that face, if the textures were lighter, that would just be I am a block. Ayame Blackburn from Killer 7. The style is just the PS4 has games. It's 2022. Yes, it does. Unfortunately, most of the ones that I have are ports from other things, though. I think.
Since everyone's saying how dangerous things are now, right there.
Oh, I mean, yeah, those are kind of like humanoid figures.
No way. Your suspicions were right.
Talk about being fishy.
There's no way anyone could mistake them for stallions.
What do we do? Do you have any ideas?
Let's go to the mayor and think of a plan to.
Well, I mean, it's not like we can hit any of them with an egg or anything from here,
You're
so come on.
okay with letting them go?
They'll just run away if we try to capture them. So what's the point? Don't you think it'd be better to prepare for an attack?
You're the heir to the Camus School of Swordsmanship, all right. You have the commander's instincts of your dad.
Well, I'm pretty sure you still call it terrible, but I digress. And we even gotta press a button to open these doors. What is this? 1998?
Pardon me if I find your tale of enemy scouts a little hard to swallow.
I'm not lying.
In Quest 64, you could just walk up to the doors and they'd
who is
open on
it you
their
think
own.
we're dealing
Adolf.
Okay, I'll stop making fun of that game for like.
You mean those
5
vile
minutes.
bandits who are more monsters than men?
In reality, they're a veritable natural disaster. They're so destructive that 5 years ago, my dad was asked to travel the country. Why? To specifically teach locals how to defend themselves against these degenerates.
We're done for! How could we ever hope to do anything against those savages?
Mr. Mayor.
But this is all too far over
You
my
couldn't hear
head.
me fully?
I'm
That
not
happens.
first thing about fighting.
Mr. Mayor!
Anyway,
please,
I'm spinning the
calm
stick
down.
during this cutscene for no other reason than to show off the fact that these aren't cutscenes. These are things that happen in engine, and also maybe to ruin this a little bit because, like I said, what I saw of the story, I was not
I
impressed.
beg you, Fidel. Please deliver our home from certain doom.
I'll give it everything I've got.
And also maybe to help really drive home the fact that you don't know who anyone is who's talking unless you can see their face move. And of course, because your cutscenes, air quotes, oh, here we're getting like a real one, so. But most of the cutscenes are those sort of, oh, no, this is just us coming outside. Most of the cutscenes are sort of that, like, rendered in engine sort of thing. I gather that the idea was that they were trying to make this a smoother experience because this came out in the 2010s and they were like, well, people wouldn't really want all this fading to black and everything between sequences, you know, like they don't know their own audience or something. Holy shit, I'm gonna be a little bit, that's for sure. Yeah, when you end up in situations like that, you at least get a case where it's like, oh, you're going to be focused behind your entire party. And that is not great. I forgot my map controls. I may not be able to even see the full map right now. But at least our objective marker is nice and easy to find. Right over here.
I can't stand this. I'm about to pull my hair out from all this stupid waiting.
Really? Why?
All the men are thinking the same thing. If no one attacks, then we're the ones that are gonna pay.
And yeah, exactly. Just at
I'd
least
say
tell
that's
us the name
preferable
or
to getting
something.
raided.
It doesn't
Yeah,
have to
you
be
hold out.
full on
Maybe
like
once at
cutscenes
most.
or dialogue boxes in the Persona or
Depending on their numbers.
Final Fantasy or
Once
anything
at
like
most.
that type of
Yes.
style. Although,
Both the men and the village
you know,
itself
those
will
did
be
have
heard
something
about the
good
second
going with
time.
the fact that
What do
they
we
were
do?
telling
We'll
you
ask
what
the
the
capital for
person who was
reinforcements.
talking's name
Either
was.
way, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Take the women and kids to the training hall.
Gotcha.
Fellow townsmen, prepare for battle!
Or just, another option that I think would be entirely fair is have like little dialogue bubbles with tails that point to the speaking person's name. I almost said the target, but I'm probably thinking of the target because right now we got this going on, and also I'm thinking a couple of grocery things we did this week. The other guy looks like a discount Lloyd Irving. Well, I mean, yeah, a little bit. I love the fact, by the way, that he's named Ted, so he's just like, wow, they gave him a name that's too generic to allow him in the party. Also that... Hey, we got a new party member. And her little mugshot thing is a little bit paler than she is by a wide margin. That looks very odd. Actually, I've seen her art, and, well, I've seen all the character art from this game, and hers does stand out because it's like a much lighter color palette for some reason. Her name was Miki, I think. And yeah, you can see she has the staff that was in that shop earlier. That's real nice. You can get a pretty large party of characters following you around. Something like, I think, 6, maybe even as far as 8. I do not remember that part, but that's kind of neat. Of course, you don't have to control all of them, which is good because you would really not be able to.
You go find someone that's short on numbers.
Well, when you see certain outfit designs in let's just say that that's not going to be an absurd sounding option considering something later, which is probably the thing that everybody knows about this game, if anything. But I don't know that I want to push that far forward.
They're hightailing it out of here!
Yes! We did it! We won!
Did we win?
Yeah, somehow.
Hey, we got all of our experience and everything at the end of battle. A bit of a multi-phased affair. That's pretty neat. I don't dislike that. Although, again, the camera angles and everything feel very
Thank
heavy,
you ever so much
so
for all you've done for
like
us.
it just feels very
We offended
clunky
them
in
off for
general.
now, but who knows
So
what'll
far,
happen
but
next time.
Next time? You're saying they might come again?
you know,
think so.
we're only so far into
Please
things.
tell me that's not true.
So, what's next? If I know you, I take it you have some kind of plan?
We'll ask the king for more troops.
More troops! A splendid idea.
I'll depart at once.
This mayor is reminding me of that one guy
Hearing any more
from
quips for a while.
Mighty
That make
Number
you sad?
9.
More like relieved.
Damn, you're cold.
I forget what his name was. Dr. Sonda? The guy who was like
Back in
comically
one piece.
rounded.
I will, and in time too. Take care of Stahl for me, will you?
Done and done.
Also, wow, Fidel's hair is very shiny. Ah, this kid doesn't know what happened. Lucky children. Silent movies did the dialogue better. You're not wrong about that. And in fact, given the voice acting quality, in some cases it's going to be very hard to tell who is saying anything, so that's its own bit of humor in and of itself. Let's take a quick look at the shops before we get out of here, because that's probably going to be fairly useful to us to see if they actually have been holding on any gear for us, or if they have any useful items.
I hope you know I'm coming along.
Huh?
To the capital. With you.
Don't be stupid, Miki. Go on home. Hey, wait a minute! Don't you understand how dangerous it'll be?
That's exactly why I'm going. You could barely handle things last night. I could never let you go alone.
Don't be selfish.
And if I somehow do get in trouble, I know you'll save me from it.
Fidel, don't be an asshole. Come on.
If you won't take me with you, I'll go by myself. Maybe I'll get captured by sleazy bandits. Maybe I'll get attacked by savage beasts. But I'm still going. End of discussion.
See if I care.
And the shopkeeper
Okay, you
doesn't
made your
wanna-
point. Take you with me.
The shopkeeper doesn't want to
Under the
give us a time of
condition
day
you
while we're
make
still in
sure
the
to stick by
cutscene.
my side.
Okay.
Switch between using the D-pad. Have them not do anything unless you control them. That seems like a very bad idea. Set roles. Visual character. Slayer. Ah, okay. Gotcha. So this is how we make sure that everybody can actually do things. Triangle during battle. Or items. Okay, yeah, so I'll pause everything. Ah, boy, we can use magic from that menu. Magic that doesn't work very well in these games. The Star Ocean games are pretty infamous for mages not being very good. Which is kind of unfortunate to say the least, but you know what? Because I don't. Alright, so do you have anything else, or is it just this? Yeah, it's stuff that we already have. And everybody's gear is equivalent to what they have already. As you can see, this is literally just Miki's outfit.
Whoops. Pardon me.
I feel like more of these people need to make, like, Pianta noises when you run into them. Alright, what do you have here? Ooh, revival item. We have some of those already. Oh, nice. We've got some stuff to start with. That's pretty good. We should probably grab a couple of status effect removal items, because otherwise, well, not gonna go very well, I'm sure. Alright, so if I recall correctly, there's like an item crafting system in this game. And that lets you do stuff with some of this, but I don't remember a ton of... I don't know a ton about it offhand, so might not be useful. Well, they ram into somebody again. We're just... Around the corner. We're gonna be going out over to the west, right? Back the way where we first saw the invaders earlier. That we don't know anything about, except that they're just kind of jerks. Oh, is that way blocked off? Well, okay then, I guess. Not like Fidel probably has any sense of direction at this point. I mean... Look. I don't know what you should look at, but you should, apparently.
Whoops.
Yeah, this is the wrong way. I'm gonna look at this real quick and see if it'll show me anything about finding these maps. God already. Fuck it. I'll figure this out eventually. He's bro. I don't think he's quite at that point yet, but, you know. I think he's only going to be equipping one weapon for the entire game. But you know what? What if we just try going over the area that's supposedly blocked off? It'll just be like, oh yeah, by the way, you do meet the requirements. We just didn't update anything for you.
I said turn back!
Well, time for my forgetful ass to... Hey, you. So bad he could get lost in a straight hallway. Yeah, good point. I mean, that'll happen to us, I'm sure. We're gonna play this like we're a head injury patient. Because honestly, some parts of this are gonna make me really question some of what's real, I'm sure. Alright, so nothing of huge use here. This dude has a nice hat.
Sorry.
I do like that guy's hat. Forest Temple, yeah, that place. Yeah, I'm usually real bad at that dungeon too, because it's like, oh, I forget which form these halls need to be set up as. So you say that, and actually, especially if it's a randomizer. Alright, so I guess we're going this way. Bye. Learn and hone specialty roles. Your best interest to... Ah, okay. I mean, I probably need to put those to use some... Ah, yes, gathering classes. Just what this game needs to be is to be more complicated, right? Okay, I like that image in the middle. With Fidel just being very, very worried. Alright, well, can we do anything useful with any of this stuff yet? Going to assume the answer there is no. Don't have enough skill points. Yeah, I figured. Could you tell me how much I need? That would be great. Maybe not. Yeah, well, we only have 13 skill points anyway, so that's not a lot. Oh, well, there's our save point. Alright. Thank you. We may as well save now that we've been in this for, like, probably about 30 minutes of feeling like we've done absolutely nothing. And to be fair, we have, and we're going to feel that way throughout most of the game, I'm sure. Ah, we got some crabs to fight. An ocean of mostly nothing. Yeah, unfortunately... yeah. There is, like... I'm sure that exactly 0.23 of you have been curious, but yes, there are some space travel and, like, sci-fi elements to this game. It is called Star Ocean for a reason. But it's not a whole lot. It's very much typical RPG fare in terms of how it works. I'm led to understand that one of the other games in the series, Star Ocean The Last Hope specifically, is a lot more intensive about it, which, you know, cool. They've got all this set up and all this posturing about Star Trek inspiration for at least they get to it eventually. Running away in this type of RPG, it's exactly what you thought. Discount Final Fantasy. More than a little bit, yeah. There's definitely a lot of cases where that is. Now, to be fair, most RPGs kind of are that as well, so, like, I can't even, you know, say anything too off about that, and I do enjoy good Final Fantasy anyway. That is definitely a series that has a few games that are kind of terrible. And by kind of terrible, I mean, oh ye gods, 13 is, like, unplayable for reasons that aren't even the ones that people bring up a whole lot, I don't feel. Ah, yeah, somebody just left 2 blackberries in a chest. That makes a whole lot of sense. Anyway. Yeah, I forgot what I was going to say after that. But... that was some strange choice of targeting their game, but alright. But yeah, absolutely. I think there is a problem with a lot of games that try to be anything more than that. Like, again, this is a game... The first Star Ocean game came out in 1996. And very early on, it was sort of pitched as being a little bit more sci-fi and, like I said, Star Trek influenced. And it really doesn't live up to that very much as far as I can tell, and the same is true for basically the rest of the series. A lot of RPGs just have this very bad habit of being like, oh, well, we have these ideas, we're just not actually doing anything with them. And this seems like it's going to be yet another case of that. Discount Dragon Quest 1. Yeah, now that you mention it, and discount is definitely, because at least Dragon Quest 1 had a dialogue branch in it. You know, it wasn't too much of a useful end. And, you know, again, I know you're a big fan of the game, so it sounds a little bit mean when I put it that way, but also, like, yeah. But there's definitely... absolutely a severe problem with a lot of this where it's just like, oh, well, we've got all these ideas. We're just not going to use them. And, oh, chest is open. Open. Locked. Hang on a second. I need to go load up Lockpicking Lawyer and figure this one out. Nah, I'm kidding. Anyway, yeah, so, it's one of the big reasons why, even though it's not a great game, I really do appreciate the original Phantasy Star. And by not a great game, I mean in terms of, like, gameplay balance type of thing. It's not like, oh, the story is actually really bad, you guys. No, it's great from that perspective. But I like the fact that they actually had enough decency and brain usage and that to go, hey, we have this sci-fi thing. We're going to at least let you travel between other planets, and we're going to give it a feeling that actually kind of resembles a science fiction type of world, as opposed to all these other games that are just flat RPGs. But yeah, that is absolutely correct. Now, I've said it before about, oh wow, we got surprise attacked by a crab. Oh. Reliving all those times when I was at the beach when I was a kid. Anyway, yeah, I've said it before on the stream, but Quest 64, the Japanese version added a lot to it. The Game Boy version was a better game, which is such a weird thing to say. Flat RPGs are Paper Mario. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. I've never actually played a Paper Mario game. Now that you say that, and I'm over here just talking about a bunch of these, you kind of reminded me that, yeah, I know it's a pun because Paper Mario and... by the way, have you seen that magazine ad for Paper Mario from back in the day, where it's just a picture of the Paper Mario and a little dotted line around it, and it says free demo? That's honestly one of the funniest things that I think Nintendo has ever done, or whoever did that for them. As the case may be, I don't know what the deal is with their advertising department there, but that was really, really great. Anyway, the point is that I have actually never played a Paper Mario game for more than, like, I think 20 minutes. So, I rented the original way back when Blockbuster was still a going concern for the N64.
Don't take me so lightly.
Toilet paper Mario. Jesus. I played a very small amount of Paper Mario for the N64, and I seem to remember being very disappointed that it was not more like Legend of the Seven Stars. And you might be thinking that that's kind of silly, and you're right. It is. And I tried to pick it up again some other time, and I couldn't really get into the music, and that's kind of a weird thing to say. Oh, by the way, I've seen where the amount that you need for SP is on the thing. It's right next to the name. It would be really smart if they put it, like, right on the menu, right next to the name there. I don't have a cursor to point at it, so yeah. Yeah. But that's really petty, I know, to be like, oh, well, the sound is not great, but honestly, I listen to it and I'm like, this sounds like butt. I can't really get into this. Maybe because, I think that sound design and a lot of stuff like that are very important for RPGs, especially. Because, it helps you get into the world and the storytelling a little bit, and there's only so much that you really need out of, like, an action game or something. You just need, think about Sunset Riders. You don't need any of the voice acting or anything for Sunset Riders. The soundtrack on Sunset Riders goes fucking hard, and it's maybe more than it needs, but I digress. Yeah, so slightly petty thing. I gotta play it at some point, I guess. I've heard that it's not as good as a lot of the other games in the series, but I haven't played any of those either, so wah wah. I haven't played Thousand Year Door, although I've heard that that's one of the best RPGs on the GameCube, although I guess the GameCube... Well, no, the GameCube had a lot of RPGs, come to think of it, at least a decent amount. It had... I think it had Baten Kaitos, one of those games on it, and Lost Kingdoms is another one. Those are a little bit more on the out there choices, but of course there's Phantasy Star Online, there's Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, there's, well, there's Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, and I mean, that's 5 already. That's not a terrible... When you compare that to the 64, which really didn't have that many at all, and, you know, even then, that's... If we're counting things like Pokemon Stadium that tend to avoid being discussed, or Ogre Battle, or if you're going to be really crazy and, you know, be like the Google search result and be like, oh, Gauntlet Legends counts. Gauntlet Legends does not count as a fucking RPG. Come on. But once again, I am getting wildly off track here. I have not been paying any attention whatsoever to how much mana that double slash is costing me, by the way. I probably should use some items at some point. However, while putting those numbers down at the bottom of the screen is a good way to make sure that they can all get on there if you're having a party of 8 fucking people running around.
Way to go.
It makes them very easy to ignore. Oh yeah, Tales of Symphonia was GameCube. I thought it was PS2 for some reason. Although saying that, like, the Tales series has always had kind of this weird thing of just sidestepping the PlayStation consoles almost entirely over and over. Yeah, it was released to it later, wasn't it? And for some reason, I want to say that that was not a well-loved port. It's got to be better than the PC version, which I've heard barely functions. Anyway, I say that mostly because I think of the fact that Tales of Vesperia was a game for the Xbox 360, and people were pissed about that for a long period of time. Of course, eventually there was a release of Vesperia for PS3, in Japan only. And then they did a remastered version that I think is on multiple consoles, I believe. I admit that I'm not 100% certain on that. Anyhow. But Tales of the Abyss was available for PS2. I have a copy of Tales of the Abyss for PS2. It was later re-released for the 3DS. I do not have that, but of course, my feelings about the series, I've just never really gotten around to playing a lot of it, because, like I said, I started playing Tales of the Abyss, and I was like, this is cool, I'll get back to it later, and then I just never did get around to it, because I got kind of sucked up by all this other stuff, and, you know, when it's competing with Chrono Trigger for the DS, and you were one of those people who, at the time, was paying attention to Crimson Echoes and was decently invested in that, and who got really, really pissed off at Square Enix for the C&D at the time. And then, you know, I came back to it later, and I'm like, this is actually kind of cringe, but it was the era. Anyway, you know, the competition was a little bit stiff, to say the least. We'll put it that way. Hey, we got some shiny rocks. And there's nothing over here, but they give you a nice little stretch of land for no good reason. Does something spawn over there occasionally, maybe? I don't know. A strange choice of world design, that's for sure. And yeah, I'll play Tales of the Abyss someday. I swear I will.
This isn't good.
I'll be saying that as the nukes drop, probably, but I digress. Anyway, actually, fun fact, and by that I mean it's probably not that fun, but I legitimately... A big reason why I actually thought to buy Tales of the Abyss is because I was friends with somebody at the time who was role-playing as Natalia, I think her name is, from that game, on one of the journal sites. So I was like, hey, I want to get into this, you know, get interested in this character. That's actually the reason why I bought Rule of Rose as well. A game which I did eventually play and kind of regret, because that game is kind of not great to play. I think that might upset some people, but I'm not saying that the story is bad. The story is pretty good, and I think there's some interesting stuff going on with that. But in terms of actually playing it, God no. I'd rather pick that story up from watching videos and that, because it controls like shit. However, I did buy that game in like 2007 and it cost me $25. Rule of Rose is now worth several hundred. If I felt for some reason like I should get rid of it, which I don't, well, I would probably be able to turn a pretty solid amount of money, that's for sure. It would make up for the inflation from, you know, the 15-year gap.
I will burn you.
That's all you got?
Still room for improvement.
An air compressor. Oh, no. Right, we got a fair chunk of stuff here. Let's buy some damage increases here. We can buy buffs against our targets here. You equip? Yeah, you can actually equip. Neat. Well, I guess if Miki ever gets into a fight, she can at least do some more damage. That's good. Yay! Something. Some sort of bonus. We gotta take what we can get when we can, because... yeah. Oh, save point. Better use that right now. We are, in fact, just going to keep stacking these all into the same slot instead of like, oh, we could make multiple save slots if we wanted. I don't want to. Surely there would be enough space on the hard drive. It's a PS4 and I haven't really downloaded. I have like 3 games downloaded on here, plus whatever updates are necessary for some of the other ones. Oh, okay, so our kobolds are kind of wolfmen. I thought for a second they were like bird guys, because of the stance they had with the dagger. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. The only reason to do so is for multiple endings. My understanding is that, yes, there are multiple endings for this game, but they're based on how you interact with the characters deeper into the game, and so that's something that would go across the entire width and breadth of the playthrough. I don't think I'm going to play through this entire game more than once. I'm going to finish this on stream at some point. Not tonight, obviously, but I'm going to finish it on stream, and then I'm going to put it on a shelf. And maybe at some point I'll be like, well, I want a version of this with an actual case, because unfortunately I did order this one from GameStop, and it has a generic GameStop case. But, yeah, it will certainly not be played again. That's for sure. Because why would I need to? I've heard people say quite seriously, and I haven't played it in order to actually know this for sure, but I've heard multiple people tell me that the mobile game that they released a while ago and stopped supporting last year in Japan and 2 years prior in the US, I've heard people say that Star Ocean Anamnesis, I don't know how to pronounce it. It's a real word, but it's a weird and obscure one that I don't know how to pronounce offhand. I've heard people say that it's a better game than this, is all I'm saying. Which is kind of surprising because, yes, it's a gacha game. But I've heard people say it's better story and everything. And you know what? If that's the case, then I've said for a while that there is great potential for the mobile platforms just in general to have really good games. Like, I'm pretty sure that it actually has a battle system that is fairly similar to the actual mainline games. So, you know, kind of Tales-like ARPG type of thing, which is fairly impressive for a mobile phone game, but they've just always been not great about a lot of that stuff a lot of the time. Probably because I think a lot of people are not willing to spend a very large amount of money to purchase a full game on mobile, and I don't entirely blame them for that. But as a result, you end up with a lot of games that are like, oh, by the way, it's free to download it, but also we're not going to give you any of the characters or anything you want. And you have to spend $30 to get a chance to get them. And what is that chance? Why, it's 3% for each of these 10 rolls to get one of these, give or take 12 or possibly far more than that, characters on this same rank. Fucking enjoy. And I understand you gotta make money somehow, but also, good God. I just, ugh. But at the very least, it's not technology that holds back mobile platforms and stuff from being real gaming platforms. It's a lot of other things, really.
Did you hear something creepy just now?
Oh, I bet we're going to fight a giant whale if we're going all the way out to the coast. I'm going to go the other way because there was some more stuff we could pick up over there. You know what? I'm going to buff this a little bit more because maybe that'll increase our skill point returns from that stuff too. So maybe it'll pay for itself. It will not do that. But also, I would like to be able to get more items.
you got? I wouldn't be here without training.
So we got a little bit of story mana some. 4 HP. Oh god, the teeth. Yeah, it's definitely pretty freaky looking once you get past the, oh, it's this neat blob thing. Actually, it kind of looks a little bit gross because it's textured a certain way, and the way the light reflects off of it, and it doesn't, you know, it just sort of like bounces and stretches as opposed to any of the bits moving. It kind of makes it look like a, you know, like some sort of action figure accessory, maybe a little bit.
Yes!
And those always look kind of nasty to me. Some sort of killer booger with teeth. I don't know who thought this was a good idea, but here we are. Oh well, I definitely, like I said, from what I've experienced in this game, both from playing it and from watching quote-unquote cutscenes, as I mentioned earlier in the stream and will probably mention many times again, this game feels a little bit rushed. A little bit being kind of a stretch, but also, you know, we'll be nice about it and say a little bit rushed. Alright, we got a place where we can pick up some more, like, I don't know, 8 SP or something. 1. Excellent. Good, I'm glad. I had something else I wanted to say, and now I've forgotten it. Thanks.
Great job. Well, let's keep moving.
Oh, they're just more turtles. I thought for a second those were something completely different, but no, those are just the turtle monsters we saw earlier. Anything? Hey, there we go. There's some better returns. Thanks, game.
Get on with it. Double That wasn't even worth the effort.
What? It's over already?
Also, I have a feeling that despite the fact that Fidel's got this obvious hood thing on his coat, he's never going to, like, put it up whatsoever. Instead, it just kind of makes his neck look a little bit, over padded, a little goofy.
That was a big escape.
Don't take me so lightly.
Right, so does this really not go anywhere useful? Just wraps around to the other end of the...
That thing's huge. How are we supposed to beat a walking mountain?
Oh, I see. We got a very large blue snot over here.
Coming for us.
Oh, this will be a good time for us to do this. Might be smart to remove the smaller dudes first. I mean, they're probably not going to be DPSing too much.
Allow me to help.
With pleasure.
Don't get distracted. Focus on the enemy.
Oh, right.
Oh, hey, we got a new party member in the middle of the battle. That's neat. Well, I don't remember, because you've sent a few whispers, and I didn't... I've seen... I'm pretty sure I've seen all of them, but I don't remember offhand which one you're talking about then. Oh, Nether Strike, huh? That sounds impressive-ish for this dude. Of a fox girl. Yes, I believe that.
Long as you're safe.
I believe that's the
My
one I
name
saw,
is
yeah.
Victor Oakville. I'm a soldier with the Rasulian army.
Victor Oakville. I thought it
is
said
Miki
Oakville
Saba's
for a second, which would make a little more
Nice to meet
sense, but
you.
nope.
I'm Fidel Camuse. I teach swordsmanship in the village of Sthal.
Camuse. I knew it. Those techniques had to be the same as Daryl's.
They certainly are. Although, if I had to guess, I'd say your style has also been influenced by him. Did you study under him in the army?
Of course I did. How interesting.
They're
I
pronouncing
never
all
knew
these
my
names
master
slightly
had a
off,
child.
and it's making
It's
me
dangerous
feel a
around
certain
here.
kind of
Let
way.
me escort you to the next town.
As representatives of Sthal, we're on our way to ask the king for reinforcements. As for why we're doing that, it's because Eidolon recently tried to invade our village. I hate to sound presumptuous, but do you think you could take us to the person in charge of dispatching troops?
We share both experience on the battlefield and a relation to the same individual. I'll take you to the capital, but I can't assure you of the outcome.
That sure is the thing. I went back to
Thank
go
you
look,
so very
and yeah,
much.
I remember seeing that.
Do you think the crown will help us?
Yeah, over there
The
hammering the
timing
button.
is far from perfect.
That's just me trying to skip
If
these
Mr.
cutscenes.
Camuse were to put in a good word.
What about Old Man Camuse?
Master Camuse currently works in the capital as an advisor for Rasulia's military, where he teaches the way of the sword. Within the army, his
Hey,
word
folks,
is
let's
law.
walk.
The old man's really that important now?
He is. That is but one reason it would behoove you not to call him an old man in public. Save that for us.
I guess that makes sense. I'll work on it.
You know what? I think I want to control this Victor guy a little more. What do you got going on, Chief? Oh, I see. He's a tank, is he? I guess it makes sense with the HP. Well, if we were to switch over to, if we were gonna switch over to the Soul Edge, that would probably be something I would prefer. You have defender and attacker there, Victor. He protect, he attack, etc. Okay, I found how to zoom the camera, everybody. It's on the D-pad. This was probably explained earlier and I missed it. Oh, another locked chest over there. Victor, you wouldn't happen to have a smartphone on you so that way I can look up the lockpicking lawyer on YouTube, would you? No? Didn't think so. Shit. Well, it's okay. He's too high level for me to pull that stuff off. But I mean, this dude is in, like, the edgy color armor. This has to be one of our best choices to be controlling right now, right?
So that's me, Doc, I take it?
That it is.
Oh, this light, it's stunning.
It's also the gateway to the neighboring country of Languedoc.
If we weren't on this mission, I'd love to have a more leisurely look around.
My duties require that I spend the night in this town. If you wish to follow me, you are more than welcome to sleep at the same inn.
You can get us a room? We'd be positively overjoyed, wouldn't we, Fiddly?
You bet.
Yes!
Well, you know what? I'll take a free in room. That's always nice. This Victor guy is endearing himself to us pretty damn fast. Here we are in the city of Medoc. Nice red roofs here. Decent floor tiles. I like the ones from our previous place better, but you know. Oh hey, another person with a very standout character design. Wow, I bet we're gonna get another party member in a second here. But first, why don't we have a look around the general vicinity here. All right, unfortunate merchant, what have you got for us? Crafting items? Question mark? I assume that's what's going on. You are going to be selling healing items here, aren't you? Sweet Jiminy, amazing. Oh, I'm happy with this already. These aren't terribly strong relative to what we were... Clearly, I should have just gone back to our hometown and stocked up a little bit over there. What do you got, buddy? Oh, okay, so here's stuff that's a little bit more in line with what we were looking at earlier. Can we... Okay. Oh, are we limited to only 20 of those at a time? But yeah, left and right are up and down 10. Duly noted that we're allowed only a few of those. For silence. That seems like it would be pretty important. Oh, that's... Your fog? So... I don't know what that is, but we'll take it anyway. We'll grab 2 of these just in case. Lavender, remove curse. Yeah, I'm sure that's something that would make my life like 20 times easier, because... Oh boy, I don't think there's a single video game where there's a curse status effect that doesn't suck butts horribly. But actually what I'm looking for right now more than anything is equipment. That has a much more effective value over time. You got anything a little better for us? We got a broadsword. That'll give us an extra... God, I just did it again. Oh no. Alright, so... Our buddy's got the same sword already. Signaturge's garb. This will give us some better... So does this give us elemental resistances? Interesting. And this does... Oh, it gives us a flat plus 50 max HP. I don't really care much. This, however, this I will tank the shit out of my money for to give that to Miki, because boosting up her healer is definitely not a bad idea. And you know what? We'll buy her some better armor too. Do we have anything here that we can sell off? Yeah, we don't need that. Bracelet. There's only one accessory slot per character, isn't there? No, there's 2. You can have both of those. Nice. I feel pretty good about that. That was a pretty good waste of money. I mean, I guess we could probably go back out into the field and farm some if we wanted to, but... For the time being, let's go check that building. Or probably have it be like, oh, by the way, this is a sign that kind of looks like a combination lock, but is actually just saying, well, we'll be back in a few million years.
Right. So this goes with the... Ah! No good, I knew it!
This is a recurring character from the series. I know that.
What business do you have with the beautiful and genius Inventor Welch?
That's a weapon you're carrying.
You're not a customer? Well, then do I ever have the perfect job for you?
Meanwhile, Fidel's just kind of confused, probably.
One step away from just about completing this amazing mixture of mine, but it definitely needs something
Wondering
else.
why
I
the
know
girl
just
from
the stuff.
Madoka who got her head bit off is talking to her. Oh. Am I cool to say that
Here are the details.
to people? Like, are people gonna get mad if I spoil that?
Don't just stand there, get to work. Chop chop. You know what to do.
Can you show me the description of our little side quest here? Think. Blah blah. Ah, okay. Hello, traveler. New missions are available for you at the Firestone Bounty Board, apparently. And it's just included in a menu. Fair enough. Sources, quests, alright. So... yeah, I have 5 blueberries I can give you. I mean... I'm not the biggest fan of giving up my healing items, but I might be able to just get those back pretty easily. And we got a blueberry potion, and we got... an item that will probably teach us how to make those.
Perfect. This is exactly what I wanted. Now I can continue with the experiment.
I'd be a little worried about her, like, falling over on something, just because of the way she moves around.
I did it. Success. I'm now one step closer to becoming the creator of the all-time greatest items around.
Also, yeah, by the way, you can tell that her mouth
Thank you
movements are
so much for your help.
absolutely
There's no way I
horrendously
could have ever
fucked.
done it without you.
This is a problem with a lot of the characters, but
No
wow,
doubt.
some of them have it so much
'Cause
worse
I'm
than
counting
others.
on you, assistant number 1.
Unlock the compounding specialty. The art for these things is really funny. I like that. On the other hand, you'll never fail to create an item. That's nice. That pleases me. Where's our skills, specialties? Right. Yeah, the nesting on these menus is gonna fuck me up quite a bit. You mentioned the Ganon sprite and said that you were working on it, so yeah, I guess there's a time to, well, if there's a playable version of it, that's neat. Good to hear about more stuff like that. I do enjoy that as just a general thing that is available in a lot of those randomizers where you can change the character sprites. That's always fun. They got a Trogdor one for that, I believe, for the Zelda 1 rando. Which is cute, because, well, I mean, A, Jay Coper uses Trogdor for, like, all of his stuff, and 2, I love Trogdor. Homestar Runner was a big part of my, like, early teenage years. Tween years, that kind of area, when I was in middle school, basically, and then I pretty much started getting in on it, like, right as it disappeared.
So sorry. No, it's my fault.
Well, no fourth party member for us yet. Darn. A rope. That seems pretty fantastic. I like that as an option. All right, Victor. You go ahead and explain to them, and you know we're gonna be like, are we all stuck in one bed?
Fiddly?
There's not enough space.
Fiddly! Hey, you awake?
Sorry, Miki, but you're gonna have to stay outside
brute.
while
Would it kill you
Fidel
to
and
awaken
Victor
a
are-
little
oh.
slower? I was scared to death.
Oh, my bad.
What in the name of... I make nice and wake you since the day's getting on, and yet...
It's really that late?
Yeah, it is. Victor's gone. He went out a while ago.
Aw, damn it.
I see.
None of that now. Jeez, get going, get going.
Okay. Now I can start.
Good. Then I'll be waiting outside. Don't take long. As always, you're so cute when you sleep.
But you're certainly not when you talk like that.
I'm getting Lalafell vibes. I think 14 was out by the time this was regurgitated into the world.
Are you good to go?
Sorry for keeping you.
Victor said he'll be waiting at the western gates.
If not,
Western
they
Gates.
were similar
Let's
in
go
like
there.
Crystal Chronicles or
Great.
something. Shantotos or something, I don't remember. No, Shantoto was a character. I'm confused. It's like usual. Yeah, I said something earlier, but oh my god, her face looks horrendous. I don't really know what to say about it. Just, why did nobody pull anybody aside and say, hey, what the fuck about this? Because, yeesh. Alright, so we can't go out the way we came. We're going to the left here.
Who's that with him?
Okay, I wasn't prepared for you to show up yet. Yeah, go right ahead and... God, I wish I drank because I would be guzzling right now in order to steel myself for this design.
Sorry we're late.
And late you are.
Who might she be?
This is Lady Brunelli, a signaturge from Languedoc.
Yeah, take a moment to take this in
Is it-
because this sure is a character design.
You can just call me Fiore.
Somebody
Name's Fidel.
went a little bit insane here, to put it that's not very nice. I can't say to put it nicely in that case, but wow, that is incredibly over the top.
What?
And it looks
You're
extremely
the
uncomfortable.
Institute? That's amazing. You're the envy of
I mean,
signatures the world
I
over.
obviously don't
I'm
have
not that way.
first-hand experience
You
in
truly
certain
are.
departments, just
Victor.
like...
Is this the duty you were talking about?
Yes, it is. I have been charged with escorting Lady Brunelli safely to our capital. But I know we're
Yeah.
all anxious to get there. I'll explain everything else
Yeah.
on the way.
This is kind of ludicrous. But hey, we have 4 party members now. And judging by this menu, she is the shortest of us. Does she have anything of interest going on here? She carries an orb. And apparently this is what she's actually supposed to be wearing right now. That would make a little bit more sense. You have a useful... Alright, so you've got a magic damage roll. Oh, there's only one person allowed to have these rolls at a time. Well, okay. Fine, I guess. No, not use. Set. What do you have? Okay, so everybody's got basically the same thing going on here. Although she has a little bit more variety of magic. Okay, yeah, and Victor has these nether strike attacks for long distance. Summon the fires of the netherworld and incinerate the enemy. Sounds like fun. That's how I like to spend a Thursday afternoon or something. But yeah, 4 members in our party, which is already a pretty decent amount. So they're sort of using the PS4. Oh god, I forgot. I forgot Fiore has a tail!
Our nation is
Well,
currently at war
when we get to
with the neighboring kingdom of
scan,
Trekor.
when we get to the overworld again,
About that.
we'll
Things
take a
don't
better
look
look,
good for
even
us.
though I
This
regret it.
cries for support on the front line
I'm going to
has
regret
reached
it so much.
So we're losing then?
The reports remain unconfirmed, but it seems the enemy has developed a new weapon and is using it to great effect.
A new weapon? Such as?
I won't pretend to understand it, but it can supposedly attack from great distances and is far more destructive than our most advanced signaturgy.
A cryptic new type of weapon? Sounds like a scapegoat
Uh-oh,
to
somebody
me.
developed
The
plasma
fact that we're
cannons.
losing is true, and so is the fact that no signaturges in the field can discern why.
And I've been called to figure it out.
Our nation has always had a close and congenial relationship with the eastern kingdom of Languedoc. Now we must call upon them for aid in unraveling this mystery,
Pigs
as
in a
they possess the
banquet.
finest signaturgical research facility on the entire continent.
I see. So that's how it is.
Anyway, yeah, so, yes, aside from the fact that Fiore has an outfit that somebody pointed out, it's like a missing texture. Get that out of your brain. We've got... Oh god, I didn't even notice what's going on in the boots. It sort of look like they're like little devil wings or something. She's got cat ears on her hat. She's got little feathery black wings. She has a tail attached to it. Well, I mean, at the very least, we can presume it's not a tail plug. Listen, shut up. If I can't, you know, I gotta tell people how absolutely insane this is. I don't even look at it anymore. Honestly, though, like, oh, we got a lemon. That's. I'm gonna use a. I could just chomp down on a nice lemon right now. Might shut me up for a bit because, jeez, I'm having a time here. As we just snap back over to the other guy. Oh, we're gonna have to change characters every battle, aren't we? Non-evil cat. I mean... Okay, good. It switches us back to whoever we're controlling, so I get to continue being...
Why can't they all be this?
I get to continue being Shadow the Hedgehog for a bit. Oh, these things are very silly looking. They'd be cute if they were less detailed. But yeah, so I don't know when or even if this is going to be described in the text, but I believe my understanding, and this is the understanding that I've always got about Star Ocean from what little that I know, is that the whole reason why this series is this full of mages that are not well dressed is that part of the point is that since they're all, the magic's called signaturgy. It's based on symbols that are literally carved into your body because that is what anybody really needs in their life, right? So, like, the idea, I guess, is that for maximum strength, they need to be exposed or something. And I just want to say that this is giving me shades very specifically
Why can't they all be
of the moment that I think everybody really started to turn on Hideo Kojima way back during the MGS5 anything. Because in Metal Gear Solid 5, there's this character named Quiet that, some of you may remember. She looks like any other woman in a Kojima game, really. Well, okay, that not literally any other, because I guess, Meryl dressed vaguely decently, at least for a bit, but Kojima definitely has this strong tendency to have women in very sexualized outfits in positions of importance. The boss, Sniper Wolf, and Quiet was the next one in a long line of it, but he tried to explain that the reason why she was in a bikini and pants was basically because she effectively photosynthesizes, was what he was trying to say. And I remember that for the first time, everybody immediately was like, "You are so full of shit, Mr. Kojima. You are so entirely full of shit." And I also want to say that was like one of the first times that I feel I heard a lot of people, A, say at all that Hideo Kojima was full of shit, and B, say it in a way that was, like, not affectionate. And a lot of people just kind of looked at him like, "Dude, shut up." And they were right to say that. And I am registering the same issue with this particular design right now, because that sincerely is a moment of, like, just admit that that's what you wanted to have just for the purposes of that's what you like to look at, and be a little more honest with yourself. I kind of appreciate the idea behind what was done in PSO2, where it's like, well, it's so they permeate the body to be for more strength, and that's why the skimpier armor is stronger. Which is also, honestly, equally as stupid, but it just kind of felt a little bit more, not stupid, I guess. Okay, no, it was absolutely equally stupid, but there was a certain level to it, like, you're getting pretty close. You're almost there. Of course, Yoko Taro did it the best when he was just like, yeah, just, what can I say, guys? That's what I like to look at. And everybody praised Yoko Taro for being like, yeah, I'm horny, okay. And they were like, yeah, you know what? At least somebody fucking said it. I mean, there's definitely some cases, too, where it's like, it's bad and it's not excused, and I just feel like sometimes it's a little bit very dishonest, and I suppose I should not. Yeah, something like that. Like, there's actual reasons for it. We'll say that they could be doing a lot worse than they do. I mean, again, there's a lot of really bad, intentionally, there's a lot of bad sexualized designs in a lot of mobile games that just don't make any fucking sense whatsoever. And, I'll give them, like, half of a point, I suppose, for being like, oh, well, it's a seasonal thing, which is so ersatz, but we're setting those aside basically and talking about like default character designs. Basically, a lot of things like a lot of characters in Fate, which I complain about a lot, even though I do enjoy the franchise. There's a lot that are just, well, not great. Anyway, there's far worse than that, too. The thing that I was about to say, and I forgot in the middle of that, is that those mushroom monsters, those are supposed to be like the same sort of species, right? So the big one is called a myth grave, and the little ones are called pygmy glaives. Somebody did not give a shit when they were localizing this, is what I'm saying. So the Fidel Camus thing is, as it possibly being Camus, is starting to seem a little bit more plausible. All the links were dead. Jeez. In some parts of the world, they're trying to establish a tax to keep them out. Wait. Maybe those are the parts of the world that Ganondorf took up. Wait. Ah, boy, oh boy, oh boy.
This place is pretty quiet for a capital. How different from Langdok.
Follow me to the castle. Lady Brunelli, sorry to ask you before settling on where to stay, but will you join us? Okay.
So what do you got, Chief? So this guy's selling more of this stuff. Let's go over to our equipment seller here. Excuse me. There's gonna be nothing new here, I'm sure. Yeah, I mean, we could pick up these crests, I guess, if we wanted them. But more importantly, we want to grab a new sword for Fidel. And we want to grab a new staff for Miki. And we're going to sell our overflow here for the absolutely no money it's worth. Jeez. How rude. But what can you do, right? Everyone is equipped with that stuff, right? Oh, that's disappointing. Like, I expected them to not give us new character outfits for any of those. That's kind of standard. But it's going to be a lot easier to see on Miki. You can tell she's still using the default staff there. The staff doesn't look like that in the art. That is incredibly low budget game. I mean, what was the last RPG we played? We played Chrono Cross, and all the weapons had unique models in that. I'm just saying. My feelings are hurt. Slightly. Egret Old Castle. Oh my god. So this game is a joke, isn't it? This is actually secretly a shitpost. Anyway, I'm pretty sure that's just an end, so whatever, we got a save point out of the deal. That's the important part. Yeah, I mean, like I said, this is why I don't feel like I should expect these things, because a lot of games don't do that, but even then, I'm thinking, well, one, we've got this boundary here that we can't cross for some reason, so we can't get to this chest. 2, Victor can cross it for some reason. And 3, in saying that, I'm trying to think of how many games that's actually the case for, where there's no change whatsoever for the equipment. Barring games where you fight in the first person. Because, sure, Dragon Quest didn't have that. You know, Earthbound didn't have that. but battles were taken in first person in those games. But like even as far back as Final Fantasy 1, they changed the little sprite for the sword when you equipped a different sword. They did little stuff with the animations like that. This is kind of incredible.
You're back? Well done.
As instructed, I brought Lady Brunelli with me, along with someone else.
Dad,
What makes the two
As well
of
as
you
how
think you
rushed the
should
game
even
is. Yeah,
be
speaking
here?
of that, well,
Stahl has been attacked by Eidolon.
this is
We
definitely a
managed to
game that
repel
was
their first
pretty
attempt, but
rushed.
We're up against the wall. We came here to petition the king to send the village reinforcements.
That is a problem.
So you'll...
However, we can't provide any troops. Now go home and prepare to fight.
Dad, what authority do you think...
Don't call me that. Right now, I'm not your father, but the official reviewing your request. Lady Brunelli,
And why
was it?
can't you send
I cannot
anybody
thank
to...
you enough for coming all this way on our behalf. Our proud nation is currently under siege from the barbaric tribes to the west. What's more, while it pains me to admit this, the outlook is rather grim.
So
Gotcha.
I've heard.
We are planning a
'Cause
counterattack
everybody
of
is
the whole
assigned
of
to deal
Central
with, yeah.
Rasulia's army, and should be sortying soon. I apologize for the short notice, but might it be possible for you to fight alongside us, Lady Brunelli?
It certainly is.
Sorry, Victor, but I need you to help shore up the rear. First, pass the order on to your subordinates. Then, once that's done, get ready to ship out.
Yes, sir.
Well, I mean, listen, all of us can
What do we
do
do now?
something at
All
least.
that's left for us is to return to Stahl.
You're going back to your village? Then you should take the Dakar footpath there. It's a much quicker route than the way we took here.
Well, so much for that. Game over, yeah. Wait. Yeah, we already kind of figured that part out. But I guess it really helps explain why there was absolutely nothing new for our new buddy there. Right. Energy crest. That's max health, I think? Yeah, so we'll put that on Fidel. And he'll be able to fight a little bit longer, I guess, if things go south, which I don't think is going to be a big here. Twilight does style better. Jeez. Well, I mean, I don't necessarily disagree, so... Even tempered, huh? The person is stammering horribly. Sure, game, sure. Do we have anything we should get here? Alright. Specialties. Do we have... And so that'll increase our... We'll take a level of harvesting. We can't level that up yet. We need a little more. That yet either. Should we spend it on getting more max mana for... Nah, fuck it. Yeah, I figured as much because Jay Coper uses Trogdor as his... Like, a lot of his symbols in chat and a lot of his emotes are based on him. I just haven't seen Coper do a lot of Zelda 1. Mostly Coper does a lot of Link to the Past. I almost said Zelda 3, which is actually correct, but it always feels weird to say that because it's not really called that in the game itself, even if it is true. And to be honest with you, I don't watch a lot of Zelda 3. Fuck it, I'll just say it, yeah. Yeah, I don't watch a lot of Link to the Past, because... I don't know.
Pardon me.
I'm really not great with it, and it's... it wasn't my game to begin with, so, eh. Out we go. Alright, so I guess we're taking the northerly route here. At least I think that's what they want us to do. Yeah, that's definitely the case, is that the first 3 Zelda games are all actually very hard. I'm just most experienced with Zelda 1, so... But then again, that seed was giving me the business that night. Zelda 2, I've played very, very little of Zelda 2. Time to dodge some wasp stingers. Chest.
Victor told us we should take the Dekov footpath, didn't he? Is that this way?
Yeah, probably.
Ooh, nice. I think we got
Then off we
a
go.
skill book there of some description. Fire and wind signature. Can't use it though. That's a shame. Yeah, I haven't played Link's Awakening in a bit, but it's definitely one that is a little bit more measured in a lot of ways. Oh, right, yeah, you don't get the blue ring until, well, blue tunic, rather, because they moved away from the ring model by that point. Until that deep into the game. The 5th dungeon in the Dark World, or 6th if you decide that you don't want to deal with the block puzzle and go to Misery Mire first. And there are definitely things that hit stupid hard in that game. Oh, hey, look, lizards. These are just literally a Yu-Gi-Oh monster, I think. I'm pretty sure there's a lizard soldier that looks almost exactly like this in Yu-Gi-Oh.
All right, who's next? Yes!
Well, I mean, absolutely that it's going to look like any lizard man, but that specifically looked like a very specific one very closely to me, especially because it's carrying sword and shield. And just the general shape was the same. I haven't played a Soul Calibur game in a while. I think I own from Soul Calibur 2 up through 6. I was gonna say I have all of them from 2 going forward, but that's not true. There's like Shattered Memories or whatever it's called. No, it's Shattered Destiny, I think. It's a PSP game. And unfortunately, PSP games right now are not the greatest of options for me because I am lacking in battery for my PSP.
Okay.
I mean, I do still have an AC adapter for it, so I can use that. Right, I actually kind of forgot the battle was frozen while I'm using an item, so that's good. And by while using an item, I mean while I'm going in the menu. While actually using the item, it's very, very slow moving. Soul Edge, aka that game they had to rename in Britain because of the guy who owned that magazine. That's not a joke. Tim, whatever his name is, who owns Edge Magazine, or owned Edge Magazine. I don't think Edge Magazine is even a going concern anymore. Yeah, I don't have Soul Calibur 1. I think the GameCube version of 2 is what I have. In fact, I would hazard that yes, the GameCube version of 2 is what I have. These things are pretty damn strong, all told. Anyway. Yeah. 3 was only released on PS2, which is kind of a shame considering that 3 has a rather infamous bug in it. I have 4 for the PS3. I have 5 for the PS3. Oh, it's just called Broken Destiny, not whatever I was saying before. Gotcha. And I own 6 on PC. So I forget if I ever bought the season pass for that, which had some extra characters. It also had 2B because, not that I dislike 2B. In fact, Nier Automata is honestly one of my favorite video games, just overall. And it's one of the very best of that sort of open world game. But also, they really did just put 2B in literally everything they could at that period in time, didn't they? They were just like, hey, yeah, we've got a crossover that we want. And we want to cross over our game with something popular. Put 2B in it. And I'm very sad that we really haven't quite had anything else on that sort of level except for like Persona 5. I would love to live in a world where it's 2021 and people are looking for games to shove into crossover projects for their game, and they just are like, we should call up Studio ZAUM or what, Studio Zaum or however you pronounce it, and ask for Disco Elysium stuff. I think that would be a fantastic world to live in. The great rush of Final Fantasy XIV crossovers, I think, has faded, which is a shame. Because, goodness knows, even though I don't think this recent expansion pack was quite as good as the last one, but I would also, be very happy with a world where anytime we're doing cross-promotion, we can legitimately go to ourselves, hey, are we going to get Emmett Selch on this? Pardon me, his name is pronounced Emmett Selch. It's not Selch. Can we get games where you give that as like our cosmetic options or something, so that way we can have somebody whose eyes look like he's constantly in the middle of rolling them. I think that would be fun. But on the other hand, we now live in an era of Final Fantasy XIV where I think that the best possible crossover we can get is that billboard. The fucking billboard is the story that keeps giving. I don't know if anybody has kept up with this, but for those of you who have not, on July 5th, there was a patch that was released for Final Fantasy XIV that enabled players to transfer their characters temporarily to other data centers.
I wouldn't be here without you.
So, you know, you could server travel before, but the servers were basically, they were all set on data centers. So it's like you have a server and you have sub-servers, and you can hop between sub-servers on the same server, but not past that. So data center travel will now let you move your character between any of the data centers in the same region of the world. So all of the three American data centers, you can now move your characters between it. On these American data centers, one of the most popular servers is called Balmung, and everybody's been like trying to get into it. Balmung also has a very, very bad reputation for being a zone where a lot of ERP happens. It's not really anywhere near as much as a lot of people like to pretend it is. And a lot of that is driven by weirdos who go there specifically because they think that's where all that shit happens, even though it is not really so much the case. And a free company, i.e. Guild, apparently a fairly small one as far as I know, bought out billboards, actual, for real life billboards, to advertise their event for their little digital nightclub that they're running. Basically, they're advertising an ERP event in real life on billboards that people believe cost at least $12,000 of real-world money to put these advertisements up. Yes, this is real. And to make matters worse, in addition to the fact that they were doing this, which has had a wide variety of effects that have all been not great, this artwork that they had for this billboard, which is like the worst fucking thing that I've ever seen, is it had things that were using mods on it. And the mods were, you know, it's pretty much been sort of a don't ask, don't tell type of situation when it comes to modded content in FF14, which the community has always been bad with. And so there's that, and there's also artwork featuring outfits that were data mined. So again, things that people aren't supposed to know about yet. And that, again, the devs were like, please don't spread this around. And somebody literally put this up on a thing, and yeah, let's just say it's not a great situation overall, no matter how much money it costs them. You know, oh, if it only cost them $50 a day or $140, or, you know, even if it did cost them $12K total. Not exactly the greatest of situations, no matter what.
Let's turn back.
For anybody involved,
Oh, crap.
and not even
This
for
one too.
bystanders.
Who do you brats think you are?
They don't look like soldiers to me. If that's the case, let's take them out. Looks like you.
But you know, I appreciate the level of entertainment that people have been getting from it. It's been pretty amusing in that regard.
Don't overdo it, Miki. Oh, I roll over and die already. Ain't no one helping you out here. Like I quit.
And you got to get your fun where you can. And
Fiddly, are you alright?
I'm not even in oh, now I'm in low HP. Well, that's as soon as I go to say anything. Oh, she's dead. She's still fighting some. Where are you, Pinky? You're all the way over there, fighting an enemy that I can't see because I am not facing in that direction. There is no. The radar only displays allies, huh? I never noticed that until now. Probably because I wasn't really paying a lot of attention to it anyway. But that's still... You know, I could imagine this being a situation where you just have to roll over and take it, but I don't want to risk this being a potential place where you can actually game over. Alright, well, he's dead. Heal yourself first, at least. And then... Cells were being ganged up on. Yeah, well, I'm just going to have to hope that this is not a place where we game over, and that this is, like, plot required. And we just wasted a couple of revive items. Because you know what, if that's the case... No, it's an actual game over. Oh, boy. Not liking that. I'm going to have to, like, actually... Damaging techniques, aren't I? It's like using a consumable, but preemptively. How far back are we? We're not that far back. We just saved on this map. Yeah. Right, it was the very beginning here, right? Beginning of this map, not beginning of the game. Of course, that should be clear from what I said already. Okay, the left will take us in that direction. Go this way, and go pick up everything that we didn't get earlier. Didn't we turn back? Or... Oh, right, yeah, because we were dealing with these lizards that were... Oh, it came out of guarding just in time to... And she's down again. And it's unfortunate. Well, probably going to be in our best interest to back up, do this. Hopefully I don't get completely nuked out. It'd be a good thing here to... Yeah, okay, it's taking damage. A little bit. Boy, I remember when I had a party of 4 people earlier, but the plot decided that we don't need to have that for now. Oh, that's the wrong button. Going this way, we've got big old bugs here. Oh, neat. We reached some sort of goal of dealing 99,999 total damage. Wow, these enemies have a lot of HP then for these numbers, huh? Also, nice camera there. Hopping back and forth between those two angles and making me think that something special was going to happen. Because that is otherwise pretty unusual. Yeah, we got... God, I don't like this. Cover her MP, and... Oh, that was a nice little launch there. This wasn't so bad. But it is a good thing that we recovered some MP before the fight started, because otherwise that wasn't going to be something that anybody would have wanted to have dealt with, really. Get him out of here.
That was pretty rough.
That was harder than I expected.
I wouldn't be
All right.
here without training.
Still got a long way to go. Wait! Don't you hear something?
I'd like to go around this, but no, they're not going to let me. Right, do we have a... We don't have a... Obviously, we don't have a cutscene skip. It's not a
Let's turn
cutscene.
back. We'll find another route instead. Oh crap, not this way too.
Hey there! Who do you brats think you are?
They all look like soldiers to me. If that's the case, let's take them out. Looks like you two are after
Deal with the ranged fighter first. Oh, not dead yet. Okay. That's better.
I will burn you to
Roll over and die already. Ain't no one helping you out here.
Like I quit.
You're all nothing but gnats.
The two of you are just like moths in a square.
How dare you even think of looking at me like that?
Yeah, this is going much better this time. We came in at least with a strategy. I don't know that we were necessarily doing much better, but a strategy is something at least, so...
Damn, they just keep coming.
There's still more of them?
Then I guess we had more experience. Had more experience? Well... Not enough for a level, anyway, I don't think. Oh, I didn't even mean to hold the button for that long, but you know what? If it works, it works.
Eat this!
You dirty, stupid!
He's going.
You're not gonna make fools of us!
Let's end these scumbags.
There is going to just be a breaking point for this at some point, right? Where it's going to be like, oh, by the way, yeah, you've done enough of this fight. We're going to have somebody come in and help you out. Okay, there we go. That's a lot of that stuff. Yay.
What in the...
That's a pretty big spaceship.
What? What is that?
It's gushing fire like crazy. What's going on?
This isn't good. It's headed for our supplies.
Well, if it scares them off, I think that's probably good for us. Or at least less bad. For now.
You okay?
Sand in my... everywhere. Gross.
Yeah, okay, Anakin, get over it. You'll be
What world happened?
I'd say it looks like something gigantic plowed into the ground. Want to see what dropped?
Oh, by the way, yeah, I didn't notice that host an hour ago. I don't have notifications for that setup. Oops. But thank you. I never set the notifications back up for the
Is
host.
that iron?
So
And
this
change
is what
them, then
fell
I
out of the
didn't.
sky? I wonder what it could be. I can't see
Suddenly
anything,
worried I'm not a
but
good streamer.
There's something here. A wall that's invisible? Well, now I'm completely stumped.
It's glass. No, that's stupid. Uh-oh. This could be a TOS problem. Kidding. I'm overselling it. But
Hey, are you okay? Hang in there.
You there! Hand over the child now!
What are you guys?
Don't talk, just put the girl down and go!
That's an absurd request, and you know it. No one would ever leave an unconscious girl's side.
And I guess we'll have to take her by force.
I don't know. I think some semblance of an explanation as to what's going on here would probably help a little bit on behalf of either of you. Like, is she trying to escape or what? Or what? This definitely seems like it would be the moment for,
They're not pushovers at all.
oh, they've got, yeah, they've got some sort of weird red energy armor.
We're running out of time! Up the power and off the girl! Don't bother with the guy!
Gotcha. I'll wipe her off the face of this planet. Don't you dare!
Oh, huh. That is
They've
incredibly weird.
stopped moving?
So I guess she's a world,
Completely
a
frozen in
world.
place. Stiffer than boards, even.
They don't move in the slightest. It's almost like they're dolls. Did that girl Signet do all this?
Push him over.
What? Her signet vanished? Is that even possible?
Am I kidding? I should
I don't
probably
know what's
sneak
going
into
on,
the ship and
but
steal
let's
their
leave this place while
or
we
something.
can.
I don't know. I can't do that. Game doesn't like me having fun. Alright, well. Off we go. Back home. Possibly back to the other town. I mean, probably closer. I find it a little hard to believe that getting all the way back to our hometown would be a good thing to do, but you know what? I don't know much about level design, so I don't know much about geography. I don't know much about geometry, which is what I almost said the first time, but whatever. Anything over here? Well, it's nice for this area to not have monsters in it while we grab this chest. That could be a bit of an issue. Save point. Oh, it's disabled. Right.
No. Our home.
Was it raided again?
Well, of course the protagonists are the only things defending the hometown, apparently. That's extremely unfortunate.
Fidel! You've come back to us!
Was the village attacked?
Hey, guy.
Yeah. They descended on us last night. We were able to fend them off thanks to the vigilance of our scouts.
It looks like they put a
But
pretty big
And everyone
dent in
else?
everything.
Are they okay?
we took heavy losses. Right now, the injured are being treated at the infirmary, but there aren't many left who can fight.
I see.
We're trying our best, patching the holes in our lines with those who can still walk, but I'm not sure there's a point. So what about the reinforcements you asked for? They'll send some, right?
No, because that guy's a dick.
About that. Actually,
That can wait, Miki. Let's hold off until we talk to the mayor about it tomorrow. More importantly, we have this kid.
You just found this lost child.
Whoa now! When did you have time during your journey to the capital to put a bun in the oven? I didn't think you could make one that quickly.
Ted.
you know very well she's not ours, Ted.
This is why you're
Rescued
just
her on
named
the way
Ted and
here.
you're not a part of the journey.
She's been out cold the whole way here.
Dumb bullshit like
so I
that,
want to have a
jeez.
rest at my place.
right. If that's how it is, go right ahead.
I still.
See you tomorrow, I guess.
Fuck this guy. Alright, well. Onward we go toward the next save point, hopefully. Be blocked this way, right? Let's back out to that platform. Right. That oddly placed platform. I'll remember eventually. There we go. Our destination marker was just a little bit further up.
Her breathing stabilized, so I think it's safe to say she's in the clear. The fact that she still hasn't regained consciousness after a whole night isn't very comforting, though.
All we can do is wait.
I guess you're right.
Let's meet up again later.
You going over to meet with the mayor?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Sorry to throw you to the wolves like this.
I'm fine.
Time for some
Just look after the
disappointment.
girl.
Time for some funny animations, that's for sure. Alright, well, let's go meet with the mayor and tell him to be disappointed in the boss.
Sorry.
Alright. Time for some bad news, Chief. Oh, Victor's here. What?
Victor,
Huh?
what are you...
You know each other?
I don't just know the man,
My unit has been mobilized in response to Thal's plea.
but at the castle.
Your father gave the order to protect those away from the front line. That's how I see it.
Oh, did he now?
Oh,
There a
he's
problem?
a good dude. I like this guy already.
No. We desperately need your help. Thank you for coming.
As I explained before, we'll go right for Eidolon's throat by attacking their hideout. That should liberate your land from any threat of violence, correct?
It would, but is it really possible to pull that off?
That's why we, the King's Chosen, were dispatched by the army.
Well then, I suppose we have no choice but to leave everything to you.
Let me join the operation.
Huh? Are you serious?
That's perfect. I was about to ask you to join anyway. We appreciate the help.
Wait, is this for real?
We depart post-haste. Rendezvous at the gate to the Dakov footpath when ready.
He seems like he's been pretty good overall for the amount that I've used him so far. And just seeing him in the party. And the like 5 minutes that he's been a character in our lives, so I like him so far. Do we have time to do this today? You know what? Let's do it.
And why can't I go?
Because it's dangerous.
Wait a second. But we fought
There's a
together
few
on our way
really
to the
good things
capital.
about this game.
That's a
Yeah,
completely different matter.
I've been giving this game. I've been putting it through the
I
ringer,
assume
that's for sure.
responsibility for her. Can she please come?
That's my fiddly.
He's still calls.
She's all yours then. I'll still prioritize the mission over her safety. Got it?
That's more than fine by me.
Then let us depart.
Oh hey, we got a couple of extras with us apparently. Gunter and Hana, they are not gonna last. Because you not see them in the menu. They vaguely exist. R2 and X simultaneously as long as stock food. Gotcha. I am not going to remember this. I've seen some pretty good things out of the Star Ocean series. I specifically chose this one because I was like, I'm not going to be able... I don't think I'm going to play through this unless I stream it for somebody to give me like a reason to do it because of what I'd seen of it being kind of yeah, kind of the worst game in the series. I sincerely apologize if somebody really loves this game, but yeah, hopefully Star Ocean 6, which is coming out in October, for those of you who are unaware, Star Ocean The Divine Force is slated for release of in October. Let me try that again. Star Ocean The Divine Force is slated for a release in October of 2022. And yeah, hopefully it's just a better game overall, but we'll have to see what it's like when we get there. Oh, neat. Gain extra bonuses by...
Some introductions are in order. This is our infiltration specialist, Gunter, and our signaturgy and support expert, Hana.
Fidel Camuse.
And I'm Miki Salvester.
We're all competent, so we'll be fine as long as we work together.
I have a feeling these two are going to die not too far in the future. Like, before we're even able to use that save point, but no, it's active now, actually. It's at least taking a couple of battles before we head off. Oh. Terrible camera angle. I couldn't see what was going on. The entire enemy model was hidden from me. If it guarded during that moment, I would have been disappointed.
Great job. Now let's keep moving.
We did it!
We've reached the meeting spot. Now we wait.
The meeting spot?
My man in charge of intelligence and reconnaissance is searching for Eidolon's base. We planned to meet here.
Sir.
And there we go.
Dax. You find it?
Dax, what a name.
We have a swordsman and a signaturge each joining us on this mission. Make sure to keep that in mind. Now take us there.
Yes, sir.
Let's take on this group of enemies first. Yeah, as you can see, we've got a group now of 6 people joining us in battle. I mentioned this earlier that, yeah, our parties can get pretty stacked, although unfortunately we can't see the stats of our 3 of those dudes. Maybe just because they really didn't want to draw portraits for them or something, and they want to hide that from us. But still, having a party of 6 allies just going around at the same time is something that does come across as decently impressive. I've heard the voice acting in Star Ocean 4 is not really great. The story I've heard kind of mixed things about. Like, I certainly haven't heard that it's bad, I guess. A lot of people have mentioned that due to going a little overboard with certain parts of the physics, it can be a little hard to take seriously. Star Ocean 3 is in an interesting position because I distinctly remember an era where Star Ocean Till the End of Time was regarded as like one of the 10 best games on the PS2 ever. And by distinctly remember an era, I mean up until like the release of the PS3 type of era. And then people just stopped talking about it. And I'm fairly aware of the very, very strange plot twist that game has, to put it nicely. So, yeah, there is a reason for it. But yes, this game, strange is a good way to put it. I would say that my overall feeling about this is that it was rushed. And I believe that there was a lot of work put into Star Ocean 5 under the apprehension that the people who were making it, i.e. Tri-Ace, were not terribly sure if people would be into this type of thing, or if Square Enix would even be okay with the project. You know, possibly thinking that, oh, they might just can the whole thing a little bit preemptively, and then all the work will be for naught. And it's full of some unusual decisions to various ends. That's the way we came. I got turned around. This is a thing that is sort of an issue with any game that has these battles on the overworld like this, is that it's not hard to get turned around. I could have expressed that in a way that was a little bit clearer, but oops. Yeah, it's easy to get turned around in a thing like this. Oh. Can't escape. That's okay. I wasn't even trying to. I just happened to be all the way up against the wall in the fight.
With those enemy guards?
Yeah, looks like it, but no.
And of course, the switching back to controlling Fidel is a little bit disruptive, but I guess they kind of have to do that a little bit, in a sense. Even though I would definitely prefer to be controlling Victor around with the control stick.
Seems they flown the coop, guys.
Apparently, Eidolon's leadership is not nearly as careless as its underlings.
The only way they could get out is the way we got in.
There has to be an escape route.
I wouldn't put it past bandits to have one.
Well, we've got more of the map to check, so I don't see how it's not possible. Yeah, so what's going on back here? Can't go there yet.
Something's off here.
Aha! There's a door here.
They done left some tracks behind.
Yeah, that is the same rock from earlier. Now that I get a look at it. It's decently hidden.
You must stop them here.
You wouldn't notice it if you weren't thinking about it. I remember to shoulder buttons to change targets. That's the thing. That everybody? Yes. And the path was added to the map. Neat. I got the mages first. Or just the range targets in general. Oh yeah. And don't stand near the lizards where I can accidentally bonk them when they're guarding. And I'll really feel like an idiot. More than usual. But Alright, so here's our big group that we gotta have to deal with all of these clowns, right?
Jerks! How dare you destroy our home?
Dirty Rasulian dogs, eh? That would explain the incessant barking. Do you even realize how much of a menace to others you are? Obviously not. I say we put them down here and now before they bite someone.
That's... oh crap.
That's the same laser pistol that the guy on the ship had.
Scatter! No matter how powerful that thing is. Can't hurt what it can't hit. Keep moving and don't get in front of it.
All of Fidel's orders to heart. An attack!
Ouch.
Keep moving about so he can't take aim at anyone.
That's right, buddy. Keep not paying attention to the guy who's hitting you. There you go. And guess who wasn't paying a ton of attention? These boss fights actually have some teeth, so I'm kind of impressed with that. That raised me teeth. Heal herself.
Let's see some teeth.
At least deal with the mage. That seems like it would probably help. Perhaps not. Alright, let's do some potion here. Sneaky. So there's just the spell slinger and the leader now. That dude out, and now we go and raise Victor and get juggled in the process, of course, because why not? You can just item right there. We go. Well, he mostly wants to do. He mostly wants to do heavier attacks. We should be able to interrupt those decently well. Should be able to, being the key word. And we're having a bit of an issue with not always being. That wasn't so bad.
There's no
Although
way.
I was kind of worried for a bit. Not gonna lie. Oh, hey, we got a trophy for that. Neat. Hooray, we did part of the plot. Amazing.
I doubt we can recover his body.
Oh, I wanted to take that who's what's-it back with us.
Don't get greedy. We completed our mission, which is more than enough. Your homeland should be free from any threats now.
We can't thank you enough.
All right, let's get on home. Everyone should be waiting for the news.
Let's.
It'd be pretty impressive if that was the case. I have a bad feeling, however, that we're going to get back and it's going to be even more wrecked. Wow, so far, none of the 3 guys that are only temporary have died. I'm amazed. I'll probably spend some of the skill points here. Neat. You gained access to a new role. That's pretty cool. Make up our defender role and advocate. Can we get spell? Yeah. There we go. Everybody's moving in a fairly neat bunch like this until the tunnel gets just ever so slightly narrower and everybody has to bunch back up. It was a nice formation we had going for a bit. This is not the correct way. That spaceship. There's a couple of monsters over here. Let's get some more experience. Alright. Now back on the correct path this time, hopefully. Here, yeah, there's a couple more monsters. I think this is the right way to go. Miki is just spending all of her mana, like, as fast as she can, almost. I don't want this anymore. Ooh. This is the group that we're up against. Yeah, this I can see that save points. So We are right back where we started. Oh, wow. Oh, I didn't need to do that twice. Still.
Been worse, I guess.
Alright, save point. Go ahead and save. Yeah, I'm perfectly fine with overriding the save data, as we said before.